jazzy. Too excited to set up the stream beforehand. That here one. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, what's good for us? Alright. So, fuck it. Let's just go. Or whatever. Alright. I'm gonna simultaneously split as I beat levels in a... well, in my run, because I kinda wanna have my IL splits as well, eventually. But what I'm performing here is the intro skip, I guess. We skipped the tutorial completely by jumping on a death trigger. And we can basically just go to the end of the level from where we can actually beat this level. And it results in a pretty significant time save. Also, welcome the cutscenes.
Once again, my gang
we'll
and
watch
I
a cutscene, and then we'll watch another one, that will play some more video games.
I was surprised to see how well she took
this
it.
game is infected with cutscenes, and we try our best to get around a lot of them.
With this,
but we can't get around all of them, which means this one is one of the ones that we have to like watch, unfortunately. But it just has a good backstory.
Bouncing on my father's knee.
So if you don't know the game, I guess you can watch this and get an idea.
Kept all their secrets of sneaking and stealing in an ancient book.
Yo, what's good, Americas?
The Thievius Raccoons.
Yeah, Nick Wild, you know,
anyone who read it learned to be especially sneaky, which is why we specialize in stealing from criminals. After all, there's no honor, no challenge, no fun stealing from ordinary people. You rip off a master criminal, and you know you're a master thief. Well, on the night I was supposed to inherit the book,
also,
visitors came unannounced.
cutscenes are loud in this game. They're louder than normal gameplay. So it's like they boosted the audio for the cutscenes for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Overpowered him and ransacked our house until they found the Thievius Raccoonus. Our family's manual of thieving greatness fell into their filthy hands. They tore the book into 5 pieces and split it up. Each villain.
And I'm gonna put these controllers away because they're taking away a lot of my mousepad space.
Broken alone, I was dumped at the town orphanage. There I met 2 guys who became my lifelong buddies and trusted crew. Bentley, techno genius and strategist supreme, and Murray, part-time driver and full-time burden. Together we pledged to track down the fiendish five.
If you like a good cutscene, this is the game for you.
I knew I was about to face the toughest
test
of my life.
What's up, dude?
On this mission, I would either become a master thief like my ancestors.
Cutscenes should have subs. Cutscenes just should not be unskippable.
That was a nice piece of work back there at police headquarters, Sly. Come see me if you want to check out any of your old movies. I've got them all here on my computer. Use the left analog stick to move around the.
So after the first cutscene, we get to do an amazing like 4 inputs. We press X, then we press. No, with 3 inputs.
The road trip gave me the time I needed to study up on.
No, we press X, then we press X again, then we press right, and then we press X. Right, that's 4 inputs. Good. I'm like, what?
As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury.
We press an entirety of 4 inputs before watching more cutscenes. And while we press those buttons, we also experience dialogue.
Raleigh, who quickly became addicted to crime, was brought into the Fiendish Five as chief machinist, where his evil tinkering genius rose to new heights.
The Master Thief. The techno genius and the Master Supreme.
The last reported sighting of this mad machinist was off the soggy coast of the Isle of Wrath. A small
hey Fatals, yes and yes, but everyone missed it because it was offline, which is why I'm streaming it now so everyone can see. This is what you're seeing right now. Is just the video that I'm playing, that I recorded, because I did runs offline. Because I do that sometimes, and I get better results offline than when I stream, apparently. A lot of my significant PVs have been done offline, so... anyway, there's a cutscene if you go through this rocky tunnel, so we like to just use the sign to simply catapult on top of the rock instead. This allows us to go around the cutscene trigger, and we can continue our journey throughout the linear level without having to listen to Bentley for more than absolutely necessary. There's another cutscene here, and I'm just gonna skip it by dying. How this game works with the cutscenes is that it has 2 flags. It's either on or off, and if it's on, it means you've seen the cutscene. And the second you activate the cutscene, it switches flag, right? So if I die in a cutscene, essentially the game thinks I've seen it, because I did activate it. So I basically just slide off the cliff as I activate it, which allows me to skip it, because I die in the cutscene. Following up is another cutscene that we can't skip, but it's only like 15 seconds long, so it's not a big deal. I didn't showcase it here, but you can actually wiggle around their heads in the binocular if you move your analog sticks. But it was like 7 AM maybe, and I hadn't slept when I did this, so I was a little bit too tired to be bothered with that. Hey Bobby Casa, and yo, what's up fellas? I do remember, yeah. Those were the days, eh? And what's up Morten? Thank you for the luck, dude. Not the luck, for the congratulation. I'm just like so used to going thank you for the luck. But there's no need to wish me luck, because the run has already been done, I guess. Yeah, that's the first level down. You'll see me pick up a key here. You won't see much to these keys though. This is the only key we'll get in the entirety of the first world. There are 5 worlds in total. Now, I'm currently on the same map as the main hub world, and every map has one spot where you spawn when you sort of like load the game. So what I do is, instead of doing the little obstacle course that would be before actually entering the hub world, I just simply load the game, which allows me to get in here. I just got a lucky charm, and this might be a little bit fast, but I'll like do it again in the run. But essentially getting the lucky charm is good. Lucky charms protect us from taking damage. If you take damage while carrying a lucky charm, you don't die, but if you do not have a lucky charm, you will actually just die. It's a one-hit kill game, unlike the other Sly games. I save my game and I load my game on the other side of the cutscene. Oh, it's buffering. Yeah, my bitrate is quite high. Oh, let me fix that, sorry. I changed my bitrate. There we go. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I get the charm, I need to. I load the game to skip the cutscene, but I save the game beforehand to keep my lucky charm. Then I repeat this process. Essentially, like the guard can take out the generator for you. Normally you'd have to get all the keys, or you need to get 3 keys to take out the generator. However, we can just have the guard do it for us if we trick him into shooting at us. His attack will hit the roof and the splash damage is enough to take it out. I also just clipped into the first boss, which I did by placing myself at a specific place behind the cannon and then doing jumps where essentially I don't hit the ground. It'll take me back to where I was last on solid ground, which happened to be behind the cannon. And when you take damage with a lucky charm from either water or from falling, you go back to where you're last on solid ground with no wall collision. So I clip into the cannon and activate the boss battle prematurely before beating the levels. Then I restart my game, because there's a confrontation cutscene with Raleigh when you enter the boss, and it just so happens to be faster to reset your game than to sit through it, so we do that instead of watching it. Yes, Victor, this is a restream, and yes, this is WR Skolsen. That's good, Eco Eclipse, and Hey Sumi. No, it was like on like 3000 bitrate, Ricky, because like I was doing recordings, like recorded runs, so I have my bitrate higher for that. But when I stream, obviously there's no reason to have that big of a bitrate for this game, so I just like turned it down so people wouldn't buffer. Even if you're downloading a Steam game, it shouldn't buffer. Yeah, this is the first boss battle. The guy you're seeing here is the guy that was mentioned in the cutscene, in the intro cutscene, for this operation, or this episode. It's Sir Raleigh the Frog, and he's a pretty mad nerd. Whenever he eats flies, he apparently just grows like double his size, and he's basically, you can't harm him when he's double his size. However, he will deflate, and now he'll just like kind of jump around and stuff, and when he deflates you can hit him. So I just do that, and we managed to beat the first boss. And I do something. Oh my god, the birds are really loud, by the way. What happens is that I hit him, and on the same, like, not the same frame necessarily, but you have like less than half a second to work with. But when you hit him, if you pause the game at the right time, you'll get the autosave while still having the game paused, from which you can activate the, or you can access the map, and from there you can navigate to the hub, or to the hideout even, and you can go to the next world. It skips an introduction cutscene. What's important to know about this game is whenever you get the autosave, you beat whatever level you're on, including boss battles. So even if it's supposed to trigger a cutscene, as long as you just leave after getting the autosave, like you're fine, you're good.
He spent the rest of his youth working.
So we're currently on another cutscene.
Fueled on his dreams of great power and
so we can't skip.
With enough perspiration, he realized that dream. He'd become a hard-boiled, street-brawling, tough-as-nails gangster, ensuring that he'd never be kicked on.
The audio is a little bit louder now because it's a cutscene. When I'm not in cutscenes, the game audio will be lowered. This game has issues with its audio levels, which is why you're experiencing very loud noises from the game right now. It'll stabilize in a little second. I can turn it a little bit down though, because it's not a big deal. I won't reveal the end time, because what's the point of restreaming it if I just tell you what time it is? And yo, what's good, MSA? Can't stay. I can PM you what time I got, I guess, so you can just watch this later, I guess. Anyway, I abuse some lazy map level design, whatever here, and just like sort of jump around barriers. This is not only faster, but in the first case it also skips a cutscene. And this also skips a cutscene. This is very similar to the one in A Stealthy Approach, which is the very first level of the game, where you take damage in a cutscene and therefore you like skip it as a result. This is also why I went through the trouble of getting 2 lucky charms, so that I could spend this one proactively skipping a cutscene without actually dying, because there's no like checkpoint anywhere near. So if I were to actually die there and do the skip without having like a charm, it would end up spawning me at the beginning of the level and it would end up being slower. I grab another charm because it's conveniently placed on my way to the end of the level, and I'm gonna abuse this charm, and you'll see how in a bit. This level is about to end. Also, because Jazzy just said that in before 5841, my PB is not what's shown on the splits. My PB is a 5842. The splits that I'm comparing against at the moment is the world record on the video. But I can assure you that this run was not a 5841. Anyway, once again, beating that introduction level puts me in on the same map as the main hub world, and once again I can just load the game to get into the center of the hub, which is faster than walking there. And in this case I just load once again because I'm greeted by a cutscene. I'm gonna do the not the sign catapult, the rock catapult thing, which will allow me to go out of bounds. A lot of new runners struggle immensely with this jump, but it's really not that hard when you get it down. But what that allows me to do is to go out of bounds, and as a result I can enter the casino without getting the necessary key amount or key count. And with this lucky charm that I picked up in the previous level, I can now clip into the boss and access it a little bit earlier than I should have. I got some funky jumps there. If you get a let's grab and then you continue to like super jump, which is the thing where you don't hit the ground, you sort of do that instead, and I call it the swag walk. I don't know if anyone else calls it anything, but I call it the swag walk. It's a bit slower than jumping normally, but it worked, so I'll take it. And once again we reset the game here because confrontating boss battles or bosses in general, well, that's slower. It saves time for every single boss on PS3. Like, I'm playing on a backwards compatible PS3. If you are on PlayStation 2, you can skip. You can do it on all the bosses as well, except Miss Ruby. But yeah, we're entering the Muggshot fight. Muggshot fight is very straightforward and a bit arbitrary. You just sort of flip the mirrors. and I guess the sunlight reflects into the crystals, and the crystals burn Muggshot. Now I leave that mirror and flip that at the very end, because I want to be close to Muggshot when I finish the first phase, so that I can hit him. He doesn't take damage from me hitting him, but he can't do 2 animations at once, and when you hit him he does an animation. And the animation he does when you do hit him is significantly slower, or shorter even, than the animation would otherwise do. Like he would go, oh, my beautiful guns have been destroyed. Looks like I got a spare upstairs. A good thing I got a spare upstairs, or something like that. Which is, it saves about 5 seconds. And the second phase, once again, just flips some mirrors, nothing majorly going on. This is where it gets interesting though. We're gonna jump to the chandelier that Muggshot stands on, and then I'm gonna flip the mirrors from the inside, which is about 20 seconds faster than the alternative. And that's the 2 first worlds down. We only beaten 2 levels. But yes, we're going to world 3 now. And we're gonna do something drastic here. It's called beat levels and get keys. But first, another unskippable cutscene. All the intro cutscenes are unskippable. We have not yet found a way to skip them.
Scary. Teaching herself to summon the undead provided what few friends she had. A career in crime allowed an adult Ms. Ruby to punish the world for fearing her as a child.
And yes, Shara is done with this game, and so am I. But that's not a secret, like I've told you this now. I've told you this a few times in stream. Like I don't really plan on seriously grinding this game anymore. Maybe like 100% eventually, but not any percent anymore. Any percent has gotten to a point where it stops being fun very, very fast, and it just starts becoming a chore, and it starts becoming a nuisance to me. And that's not to scare off potential new runners, that's just how I feel right now. And, you know, feelings change. Maybe one day I go, okay, I want to improve this run. But for now, we are just in the Dread Swarm path, which is the introduction level to episode 3. We're just kind of chilling. This is one of, like, all the introduction levels are kind of linear, and there's not that many, like, strats to them. But this is the one with strats. There are a little bit to go for here. First of all, I'll perform the Nuka jump, which saves a bit of time and gives me a lucky charm that I don't really need, but it's good to have in case I mess up and take damage. Essentially, if you jump off the right part of that little vine, you'll get a boost, a boosted jump, and you can just like skip a lot of the level. And I jumped to that tree instead of just walking down the slope because there's a cutscene on the slope. To finish this level and get the key, you need to smack all these candles, because the key is, you know, stuck in some voodoo magic, so we can't acquire it just yet. But Bendy says that we did it, so we did it. And we got quality options, which means that this VOD has been split into 2, which is, you know, excellent, completely excellent. Which means I'm just gonna like upload this video to YouTube instead of instead of like Twitch highlight. Once again, load the game to get into the main hub world. Like you're on the same map, but you're like kind of far out from the center of it. But as I said, in this we're gonna actually start doing keys, doing the levels, beating the levels, and getting the keys. There's a cutscene straight away here, which isn't a surprise at all, which we skip by loading the game. If anyone remembers playing this game casually, this game, this level even, includes a giant snake that will try to chase you down and nick you completely. However, we can skip the spooky snake by just going out of bounds like that and running along this wall. I have a bit of trouble actually finding my way on the wall, and I'm like kind of ledge grabbing and slightly falling off constantly, but it's okay. But yeah, I can just follow this wall, jump down to this vine, and beat the level. Now, coming up is the first kind of like mini game of the run. A lot of people say it's RNG, but it kind of really isn't. There's some RNG to this. you'll see in a bit, fish will spawn and we'll have to collect them in order to light torches, in order to get the key. However, these fish spawn at random, so that's the RNG part. What isn't RNG is how they move around. Like, you can sort of, like, if I approach them, they'll swim away from me, right? So you can like manipulate that a little bit, but if you just continuously get shit spawns, it's really hard. Which is why this game is really stupid sometimes, because there's like 3 of these mini games and they are incredibly unreliable. Yo, thanks for the host, Morten. Alright, thank you, Foes. See you later, dude. Fish. The Peter. But yeah, we just collect all these things. I got pretty good fish. And like an optimal fish is you light the last torch with more than a minute left on the clock. But that's really hard to get. I think I get a 58 in this, which is really good. Yeah, I got a 58. So that's that level done. You'll see me, instead of pressing exit level there, I went back to the map and navigated instead of exiting level. It saves about 6 seconds on movement, which is why I do it, as opposed to just exiting. Because if I exit, I'll spawn at the entrance to the level, and it's like kinda bad. It's kinda far away. Now this level is quite broken. We can essentially skip the entire thing here, because this hook that is right behind this golem is pretty conveniently placed. It's very tricky to do, but I nailed it first try. And so I go out of bounds, and from the out of bounds I go straight back into bounds and jump to this key and beat the level. Now we have all the keys required to open up and unlock the second part of the hub world. However, doing it the intended way is very slow, because the snake that I mentioned before will kinda like appear and break the gate, and it's just unnecessarily long. So what we do instead is we just like slope jump out of bounds, and slope jump is essentially just jumping up a wall until you get a boosted jump, kinda. And it's a lot faster than watching the cutscene. This is Descent into Danger, and this is arguably my favorite level of the run. I'm gonna perform bone jump here, which I nail completely, and that's a quite tight jump. I get a lead scrap here, so I have to take out the guard, and I'm not gotten a lead scrap. I could have jumped straight to that vine or that rope and climbed it before the guard would turn around. That wasn't the case though, so I had to go and execute the guard, which was kinda slow, but not too bad. Bone jump is a very like, you're not supposed to be able to do it, but if you jump off of something right as you grab it, you get like a little boost in your jump and you can jump over the spikes. If you don't have a lucky charm at this point in the run, then that jump is really tricky, because if you have a lucky charm you can just like take damage and ride the invincibility frames over the spikes, but if you don't have a charm, you essentially have to nail it, otherwise you just will not get it, like you'll just die. And that's the level now. Thank you, Koa. And I will, Tyrion, don't worry. I don't know if it was flawless movement. I had to like kill the guard, so it wasn't perfect by any means. Anyway, this is the first level where we'll see like this vehicle. This vehicle will make a grand return later in the run, and I guess I'll talk about the vehicle later on, because it's a lot more significant later on than it is right now. But this level starts out as an auto-scroller. We're just chilling on this boat. We're just riding on this boat our merry way along this little river filled with dead people. So it starts out as being an auto-scroller. However, we get to drive around and go fast in a bit. Hey Super Skank, how are you, man? Offset your bone jump. Yeah, that happens. It's a side effect of jumping off something. You like if you do it really fast, you just get off-centered from like vines or like points that you can jump on. But yeah, that's the end of the auto-scroller section of the level. We used to coin farm quite a bit here to get a lucky charm before chickens, but because of Nuka Jump and because of just overall better consistency with Bone Jump, we don't really need a lucky charm. We don't really need to coin farm, and also we don't really need to have a charm for chickens. Chickens is the next level. It's the level itself is called Down Home Cooking, but it's like a stupid hard. Well, not stupid hard, but it's a mini game where you can die if you are like a little bit uneasy, or if you stop paying attention for like a second, you can just like get completely nailed by chickens. But it's okay, because I don't think that happened. I actually kind of can't remember if I lost a charm in chickens, but we'll see, I guess. So this is the end of the level. These ghost generators, or these tombstones, spawn ghosts. So when you kill them, the ghost will stop spawning. And in order to beat this level, you have to kill all the tombstones here at the end. And I do so, just like that, and finish the level. I got this a few hours ago, earlier today, Skank. Like maybe 6 hours ago or something. I just didn't want to restream it straight away because people might be sleeping and stuff, because it was like ridiculously early. So yeah, this is Down Home Cooking, aka chickens. I mash start as I enter and then instantly restart the level. It skips the cutscene, and it's just like, you could load the game too, but it's faster to just skip it by restarting the level. You can pick restart level in most mini games like this. But yeah, basically, for those who don't get the story here, like, why are we running around and whacking chickens with our king? It seems like a bit of a random thing to do all of a sudden. But essentially there's a friendly ghost right now soaring around just underneath the ceiling of this room. This ghost has a treasure key that he would like to give us if we can give him chickens so that he can cook up chicken gumbo. Because apparently like ghosts eat chicken gumbo. But yeah, we whack 50 chickens for the ghost. And we try to do it a bit fast, however this is kinda slow. Good chickens would be with more than 30 seconds left. This was at 27. So it wasn't good, but it was not bad either. You know, it was actually kinda bad, but not horrible. At this point I'm still ahead of my own PB and the record. And I leave with both my charms. So we're entering the final boss. Oh, not the final boss, but the boss of the 3rd episode. Her name is Miss Ruby. And she has a big ruby in her belly button, hence the name. But once again, we will restart the game to skip the intro cutscene. There's a puppy barking in the background. I don't know if you caught that. Chicken gumbo story, yeah. It's a very big part of the story, right? So yeah, we'll see this intro screen once more. The final boss, you don't actually, like, I lied when I said you skip or you reset on every single boss. That's kind of a lie. You don't do it on the final one, but the final one is a little bit different. The final episode, episode 5, is also kind of different. So yeah, I have 2 lucky charms here, and I want to get rid of them both. Because I want to do death abuse, and naturally I can't die if I have a lucky charm. Now, I tried to do like a little cheeky shortcut here, but it didn't really work. But it's fine, because I needed to get rid of the charm anyway, so it didn't lose me time. I jumped to this hook, not hook, this vine, and then I slope jump to go out of bounds, from which I jump back in. And lose my charm in the water behind her, like so. And then after that, quickly, I'll just jump into the water myself and die too. Why do I do this? well, when you die in this water behind her, the game thinks that the reason why you die in this water is because you failed this section of the boss battle, this phase. So essentially what that allows me to do is skipping the first boss, the first phase of the boss. And as a result, it also allows me to get around a 40-second cutscene. So yeah, basically just dying behind her sets a flag. So the game thinks you've been there. So yeah, this is just like a Voodoo Simon Says, where Miss Ruby throws PlayStation logos at us and we have to press the correct buttons in order to not get completely bodied. Which isn't too hard. This level is notorious for dropping inputs though, so whenever I do this, and whenever most people do this, we just mash the button instead of pressing it. Like, we just mash it completely. Because losing a run here really sucks. Like, I'd lose more than a minute if I died here. So yeah, not a whole lot of stuff to really talk about here. It's essentially just pressing inputs. We'll get to skip her last phase. There's like one more phase after this, but we'll finish the boss fight like right now, essentially. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk up to her, pause the game, then load. And as the game fades out like that, I get to hit her twice. Hitting her twice does, you know, damage for each hit. And it hits her, like, I also hit her, she has 2 hits left, and I hit her twice, so essentially I just win.
Road trip gave me the time I needed to study up on.
So that skips an entire last phase, which is also like a minute plus long of just doing Simon Says.
Born penniless, he was fascinated by the fireworks rich noblemen
which is kind of neat.
every New Year's.
And yes, Jazzy, that would be the same pattern every time. She always throws the same inputs at
But when
you.
he tried to offer his fireworks to the noblemen, they couldn't see past his shabby clothes and chased him away.
So now the intro cutscene.
Humiliated, the Panda King took revenge on those who shunned him by using the very tools
This is
of
the
crime.
second to last one we're forced to watch.
The demolitions expert, and from
At least
then
of the
on,
cinematic
his
ones, these
explosive
cartoon
became
ones.
feared worldwide. He's rumored to be perfecting some new firework technique high in the unstable Kunlun Mountains of western China.
Anyway, Perilous Ascent. I have a lucky charm here. In fact, I have 2, which means that I am eligible to do a strat we call Dilomeke, which is another super jump that saves a bit of time on this level and the next level as well. First of all, I'm gonna mess this jump up, and then I'm gonna get it, but then I'm gonna miss the second jump up, and then I'm gonna try again, and then I'm gonna mess up again, and then I'm gonna try again, and then I'm gonna get it. And I don't know why I decided to mess that up like 3 times. Excuse me 1 second. There you go. I jump up there to get out of bounds because there's an unskippable cutscene that we obviously can't skip because it's unskippable, yeah? Essentially what happens in the cutscene is the Panda King blows up a bunch of fireworks and it hits some snow that turns into a lavine which just completely bodies like this entire village. And I was a bit sloppy at getting out of bounds, and the fact that it takes me like 3 or 4 attempts is just not good, but I kept on trucking and we skipped the cutscene simply by avoiding the trigger. Yeah, what's good Pete and what's good MH? I did not get God spinning, but I got a lot of other good things, Pete. The spinning wasn't fantastic, but like it was okay. And this is the Lomake that I'm gonna do right now. Now this looks very impressive. Once again, just super jumping, where you don't hit the ground. And I just drop down here and I go through the trigger. So essentially I just beat the level, which would have saved a lot of time if it hadn't been because we need to go back in and get the key. Because we don't actually get the key, we just beat the level. But we don't have the key in our inventory. Now I want the key, because if I don't have the key I can't access the boss battle. So I need to go acquire it, which is something that I am currently on my way to do. So I walk up, I smack the key and then I press pause to load map. And there we go. Now this will end up saving me some time on this level too, because this time I didn't have to load the game after entering the hub world to like spawn in the middle of the hub, which saves like time over menuing and time over the game actually loading. Now this is another one of those like kind of auto-scrolly levels, but you can lose time to him. Essentially Murray has decided that he wants to go out and get himself a key. And we have to be his guardian angel and taking out guards before they get him. Now I know where the guards spawn, so I just like prematurely shoot and wallbang him. But if I don't do that fast enough, Murray will be doing like an animation where he gets scared, which you've seen a few times already. And if you get that animation a lot, Murray just obviously doesn't work. He doesn't move. And so it's slower. So you don't want that happening. He's also half gone, by the way. Shara is still alive, yeah, but he's done with this game. He's done with any percent, 100%. He's currently working on like a guide, a tutorial for this game. He already has one, but it's kind of outdated now because of new strats. Now this is the final end of this level. We're gonna do some sick MLG no scopes here, even though that's a lie because we do kind of have a scope. But yeah, these guards can spawn from 6 different locations. They can spawn 4 down, they can spawn 2 up. And we don't want them spawning on the roofs too much if we can help it, but it's not really our decision. It just kind of happens. When they spawn up, it takes longer to actually like snipe them. You have to get your crosshair all the way over there, and if you don't react really fast, like it just takes longer. That's that level down. Next level is an unseen foe, and this is another contender to my favorite level of the game for the speedrun anyway. It's like a tie between this level and Descent into Danger with the bone jump that you saw earlier today, or earlier in the run. This is another one of the levels that have not necessarily tech, but it has clever jumps. And first I'm gonna start by getting around this guard by jumping around the corner like that. Guards don't really care if you're in their lights as long as you're in the air. If you're on the ground, they will attack you though. I can do a jump here to shortcut around the level. And I do something really weird here. I don't know what happens. Like, I just don't press the circle button. I just don't press the circle button, I guess, and I just lose my charm. Which, luckily, I can reveal that this does not bite me in the ass, but it could have very well have done. Anyway, that's another clever little skip here. You can jump on this railing, and from here you can go up to this roof, but I mess it up. So I try again, and I get it second try. So yeah, overall this level did not go well at all. Yes, Fantastico, this is a restream of a run that I got offline. But yeah, anyway, moving on to the Flaming Temple of Flame. Temple del Fuego. Another one of those levels where essentially the entire thing like is cut out because of, you know, our ability to abuse stuff. So like I can use these hooks to go out of bounds, but as luck would have it, I mess up miserably. And I have to like spend forever on these hooks, because I don't know, like the chokes were real. And this is a lot of time lost, like an unbelievable amount of time lost. And as if that wasn't enough, like I just don't land on the thing and lose my charm and spend even more time like trying to do anything productively, which was really unfortunate. Not having a charm now means I won't have a charm for the rest of the game, which is very scary because there's a very stupid hard jump at the very end of the game. And not having a charm for that means you only have one shot at the jump, which can be sketchy. So yeah, 3 levels in a row that's been completely garbage. I lost 28 seconds over like 3 splits, which is not good. Anyway, we have enough keys to go to the second hop, but once again, second part of the hop, but once again we just don't want to do it the intentional way, because usually intentional is slow, but we just jump out of bounds instead. And we enter this level. And this is spinning, and this is where we see this vehicle again. And essentially, you just want to go into this corner and spin around. And whenever the game decides to be nice, it will launch you out of bounds, and you can go to the key. However, this can take forever. Like, this is very inconsistent and also very inconsiderate. However, it did give me it fairly fast. So, I mean, it wasn't a fantastic spinning, but it wasn't bad either. At this point in time, I fall behind the world record, as I can tell by the splits that you can't see. And then I continue to mess up. Like, this China was unbelievably bad. I didn't land on top of the lamp thing, and so I fell down and had to go around, which already now is kind of shit. And then, lo and behold, yet another fuck up. I just simply don't jump properly here, so I have to whack this thing again. And you can see I shake Sly around there in disbelief. I was not happy with that. Like, I was really, like, I wasn't on tilt, but like, I was kind of mad with how this run went at this point. Like, I was starting to think that the run was dead, but evidently it kind of is not, since I PB'd. But you'll see, I guess. I saved it. I saved the run. So yeah, this level has it has a death abuse in it that cuts out a pretty, not like a huge chunk of the level, but like a good chunk of the level gets cut out. And yeah, what's up Slender, and what's up Sanju? Essentially there's like a checkpoint on top of this pillar here. So I just jump and swing my cane and I nail it completely. Like, that was really, really well executed. So I get a checkpoint up there, and as I die, like, I just spawn there because I got the checkpoint. And it cuts out, like, I'd say a good 25, maybe 30 seconds of platform. Now, Carmelita can be a real bitch here, and she was. So she shot away the icicle I was about to jump on, which, you know, it's another little piece of RNG. Not too bad though, I just have to wait until the icicle fell down again. And here on at the end of the level we just kinda like hit the fireworks.
Watch your back, Cooper. When you least expect it, I'll be there.
Yeah, at this point I'm kinda far behind my own PB, actually. I'm surprised I made up all the time to like get back in the green, honestly. But this level in particular was one of the reasons why, because this went fucking fantastic. This is a desperate race. And somewhat recently, a skip for this level was found that allows us to use one of the nitro boosts that you can collect to sort of launch off the scenery as if it was a ramp. And you can go over a little gate which you can, like, you can just go to the key and beat the race without beating the race. And I happen to get a really good race skip in this run, which basically saves the run, or saves like this part of the run, like China. Which means I can reveal that I'm still ahead of the record after China, even with all those fuck ups. But yeah, I picked this nitro boost. This guard's kinda in the way, but it's not too bad. And there we go, I just nailed it first try. I ramp over, and then I press reset race when Murray gets out, because that means that he will still, like, how it works is when you when Murray gets out of the van, he stays out of the van even if you reset the race. And Murray will just go and get the key. If I don't reset though, we have to watch Murray, or actually we have to watch like a screen not aimed at Murray at all, but essentially Murray does an animation where he gets the key and throws it into his backpack or whatever, and it takes a while. But if you just reset the race after he leaves the van and then exit, you save like 18 seconds maybe over like watching it. And once again we restart the game. And once again, we know that Sony Computer Entertainment America presents a Sucker Punch production. This was not streamed originally, no. This was done offline. This is a recording of a run that I got while not streaming. So yeah, this is the Panda King, also known as Evil Kung Fu Panda, aka Evil Po. And he just kind of like, I don't know, tries to do all these Kung Fu moves at us, but we're pretty good at dodging them. He takes 10 hits each, and then he like bounces you away. So here, when I reach like 8 or 9, I pause the game, and as the game fades out, I hit the split. Once again, the game doesn't really care. As long as you get the autosave, you win, essentially. And I get the autosave while the game fades out.
We were on our way to the Krakkarov volcano in Russia. While looking over what little information I had on the file,
even though I just loaded the file, it just overrides the file that I loaded, and it loads another file that I originally loaded, if that makes sense. Like I said, the game doesn't care. As long as you get the autosave, you beat whatever you're doing.
Is this a strange
So it's all good.
Or is there something I'm missing?
As we enter the final stage, the final episode, you'll see that this episode is quite different than the other ones. This one is very linear. You don't have a hub world, you just sort of go from level to level. And the first one is an auto-scroller. Yeah. You can kinda like, you can get screwed over quite a bit on this, but like I was a little bit worried at that because I don't have a lucky charm. Because my dumb ass lost it on levels. I lost 2 lucky charms that I shouldn't have lost. But I did end up losing them. But luckily, I don't want to take out the tension of this run, but I did not die. So there's that. I assume these rocks are very premature before they get to me. makes it a whole lot easier. These two rocks won't get me because they're like too far to the left. Yeah, just shooting a bunch of Robo Falcons and shooting out mines and shooting some more rocks and stuff. Like, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on here. It's quite a chill level to witness. It's not always as chill to perform when you're the one controlling the game. Also, these rocks take quite a beating. The other rocks are essentially one shot, but those ones take a while to get down. There's small Robo Falcons here. Even though they look like owls, they are referred to as Robo Falcons in the game. We just take them out before they start charging on us. You see that one is charging. Well, as long as you kill it before it like gets to you, it's okay.
Nice shooting, Sly. Looks like we're in the clear.
Hurry, that cave doesn't look tall enough for the turret to make it all the way through.
And now we're entering the final minigame of the run. This is burning rubber. And it's kinda hard to you can't really do much in terms of optimizing it because it's completely random where the computers drop. What you can do, however, is pan your camera around as much as possible to get a good overview and overlook of where the computers are, and make sure you get to them before the fire slugs. Sometimes you get lucky and you get a bunch of really good spawns, but sometimes you just don't get good spawns. I happen to get very decent spawns in this one, and like I obviously when I did this run I didn't do IL splits, so like I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this was a best segment. Like it went pretty good for my standards. Like there are like 2 computers just dropped from the ceiling and hit me, so I picked them up. Like I'm on 40 already and the opposition only has 16, so like this went really well. Yeah, just sort of like bank your camera around. Make sure you get an overlook of like what's actually going on. Also, I kinda like flip over there. It's literally Grand Theft Auto. Like my cars just flip over. And I got 62 computers actually, because I got one and then I got another one and then one dropped on me. So that's 62 computers. Which is pretty fun to me for some reason. It wasn't the best segment, but it went really well. So coming up is Bentley Skip, and Bentley Skip is notorious for being that one really stupid skip at the very end of the game. However, this is only like one of the 2. There's like another even arguably more stupid skip like at the end, but oh well. So Bentley Skip essentially includes me jumping on this thing. It launches me up and I can skip a whole level and a cutscene by landing on top of the little like cylinder. Normally you're supposed to go in there and naively try to save Carmelita, but Clockwerk has set up a trap for you and he like poisons you or gasses you out so you faint. And as Bentley, you have to hack the system, I guess, to save him. But you skip that just by not hitting the trigger, which skips an entire level. This is another like kind of auto-scroller thing. We're currently controlling Carmelita because we saved Carmelita, even though we kind of didn't. Like we just skipped the level, but the game still thinks we saved Carmelita. So Carmelita is doing Sly a favor now, helping him get through this. Also, I'm not supposed to have shot all those yellow things away, so those fire slugs get really confused because there's not supposed to be that many at once. Final level before the boss, A Sink in Peril. I played this very safe. I was kind of nervous at this point, and I didn't have a lucky charm, so I played it very safely. So I'm kind of curious to see what my time loss is, because I'm like 90% sure I lose time here. But yeah, you can jump on this cock here, and jump up and skip some platforming. Also, what's up Inferno, and what's up Mobala? How are you guys? And I just skip like electricity by jumping around. And these points are very awkward, so I always play those safe. You can like go really fast, but I don't like going fast on those. I'd rather play it safe and not die, which was a good decision. At least in this case. And my best segment for this level is over already, and I'm losing time to Sharo, which is really bad. But it's okay, because now we have the final boss here. Start out by loading the game to skip some dialogue. And essentially we can't really harm Clockwerk, but Carmelita is with us again, and Carmelita shoots. And when Carmelita hits Clockwerk, it creates gaps in his armor, and that's when we have to strike. So we do the butt shot, and now we're gonna do the wing shot, and then the first phase is down. There are 3 phases of this boss battle.
Nice shooting, Sly! You got him! Wow, that's one tough out.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family.
So coming up is the second phase, naturally. In the second phase, Clockwerk will shoot purple rings at us, and purple rings are very scary. Purple rings, even though you go through them to dodge them, sometimes they just bounce back and hit you in the back. I was very, very worried of that happening for this run, because I didn't have a lucky charm, did I? So it was really sketchy, and it could have easily happened, but I don't think it did, because if it did, this wouldn't have been a PB. Yeah, these rings are the ones I'm talking about. When you go through them to not get hit, they just bounce back, and I don't know why. Like, I really don't know why, but it's possible for them to do it, and it's such bullshit. $58.23 is your call. A solid shot, I guess. And yeah, I agree, the music for this boss battle is epic. Like, this boss is fantastic. Nothing less but fucking fantastic. And that's the second phase now. Now the last phase. The last phase is platforming. But we have found a way to skip most of the platform by performing a stupid jump. And this is what I would want a lucky charm for. However, I don't have a lucky charm. So it's kind of, I have to nail it first try. And hallelujah, I did. However, I fuck up here, look at this. I just don't hit Clockwerk for like 10 years. I just stop hitting her. Or him. But I did in the end. And we still got the record. And I'm still done with this game. Finally. So, not a fantastic run,
Raleigh, Muggshot,
but it's good enough.
Panda King,
My late game was really bad. Everything after Miss Ruby, the boss battle Miss Ruby, was just really bad.
Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals.
I like the Master Thieves going on right now, by the way. Good shit, Chad.
Murray, boy, it took a lot of guts for him to get out in the field with me. I know he was scared.
The Slumans, though,
He's got
they're
more
taking
heart
over.
than anyone I've ever known. Thank goodness for Bentley. Without his expertise, I'd have never found my way off that rooftop in Paris. A guy couldn't ask for a better gang of friends.
Slimon. Oh, the different ways of saying
Forget the
Slumen.
lovely Carmelita.
So good.
Looks like
Yes,
we're not gonna be
Coke.
friends anymore.
But yeah, that's
Now that Clockwerk's death
That's my
is out
restream
commission,
of my
we're back to
speedrun.
playing cops and robbers.
of Sly 1,
I thought
Sly
for
Cooper,
sure
and
she
the
was gonna
Thieves
slap the
Raccoonus.
handcuffs on me right then and there.
A speedrun that
But
has
instead,
gone
She was true to her word and gave me that 10-second
from
head
being
start. 10, 9,
at
8,
110 something,
7, 6,
like the record when I
5,
started speedrunning this
4,
game. Or when I started getting
3,
into the game, which was like 2 years and a few months ago, by a guy called Surreal. And now
1.
it's all the way down here. Back then, like you wouldn't even consider sub 1 possible. And now we have 2
I felt bad leaving her
speedruns
stranded on that
on the
giant rock,
leaderboard
but I knew
that
it
are
wouldn't be long before we'd see
comfortably
each other again.
sub 1. And I even got a sub 1 on PS2, which is really difficult to do. So that run is like probably still the... No, it's not even the best run. This run is way better, I think, even though it's kind of shit. So, yeah. An era is over, as Fantastico mentioned. Like, I don't know if an era is necessarily over. I'm just not gonna grind this game anymore. At least not for a while. I don't know if I'll ever come back. Like, this run is very improvable. Like, my late game is so utterly garbage. But my early game is really solid. So I don't know. Like, this run will be tough to beat. And considering that no one owns a backwards compatible PS1, backwards compatible PS1, lol. Considering that no one owns like a backwards compatible PS3 really that runs this game other than me, Shower, and Cuber, it's kinda unlikely that anyone will sweep in and like, I don't know, pressure me and Sharo for the best times. But if that happens, then it's okay, I guess. We're both done with the game now, and I feel like I've done what I need to do in this game. I might one fateful day return to this game and improve this time. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not something that I'm even considering right now. At this point, I'm just happy that I don't have to grind anymore.